Welcome to Whispers, everybody, on AM 1600 WKKX, the Valley's Watchdog. It is 8:02 p.m. here in downtown Wheeling, and I'm not sure whether or not it's going to decide to keep storming or stop storming or snow. You know, I haven't figured that one out.
I think it's supposed to snow this weekend.
It's supposed to snow tonight.
Is it supposed to snow tonight?
Yeah, I think we're supposed to get an inch tonight and then 1 to 2 on the weekend. So we might see a couple flurries tonight and a dusting on the weekend.
Do you think it'll ever get warm?
I don't know. I'm beginning to think no.
Well, it'll get warm, and then it'll just change its mind on us real quick.
Yeah, that's it. It'll get warm for 2 days. That'll be our summer, and we'll go to winter again.
And I swear, I went down to the pen this morning to put our first deposit on, and like halfway, I figured I'd park up in front of the pen and then walk over to like the warden's office. You know, it's a good little stroll, get to walk around the building, and right about halfway through, it just starts pouring down. And I swear, like, at a couple points, it felt like it was either really big raindrops or a little bit of sleet mixed in, but I think it felt like a rock pelting me in the head. I was like, oh, my God.
It hailed like crazy.
Is that what it was?
Up in Wellsburg. I've got a weather guy that calls me from up there all the time, and it wasn't doing anything here yet. But he said it had just started to thunder, lightning, and then he called back and he said, my God, it's hailing out.
Jeez.
You got all kinds of guys that call you constantly. I was listening, and I have to ask you this.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't even know why I was in the car listening. They were talking to some people, the rodeo was in. And you said, and Jordan, I don't even think I've told you this, you said you were going to go to the hotel and find one.
Yeah, Lola.
Oh.
2 came in. Lucky interviewed them, but they were way too young.
Well, because you said the psychic told you that your next guy or your dream guy was going to have cowboy hat and boots.
A rodeo clown. A rodeo clown.
No.
Yeah, that's going to be what's going to happen.
Well, probably. But no, it was the angel lady told me that my angel, one of my guardian angels, is a little girl. Something about pink roses, that I should either have them in my bedroom, have a tattoo of a pink rose, something. And that if I ever smell roses, that means my angel is very close. Well, I do today, but we have a beautiful flower arrangement from the Alex that won the Valentine's Day thing. But she said that I would meet a guy, to pay attention for cowboy boots. So, consequently,
everybody listening out there, check down, see what you're wearing. If you got a pair of cowboy boots on, call in. Lola's waiting for you.
Well, have your financial statement ready too.
Yeah, we all get quiet waiting for the phone.
But. Yeah, that's where the cowboy boots thing came from. And then, well, first I got the phone call that they were all checking into the McClure. Then I got a call about 20 minutes later. It was about 20 to 3. And they're all eating at the Tiki Hut. So we came back on the air and I said, Todd, we have to put Fox up right now. We have to leave. And I don't know what he thought perhaps happened. But I said, well, they're all up at Tiki Hut. And he goes, well, what do I want to go for? I said, you're my wingman. Come on, you got to,
Have you met Lola?
Have you met my friend Lola?
And then Luggy, I knew Luggy was going to have was trying to get a couple on as guests. So I'm out in the other office, and I'm telling them, oh, look, if they come in and they're lonely, this kind of thing. And I turn around, and honestly, they were young enough to be my grandchildren. It's like, oh, I almost feel bad, One was like 17 or
Rob the Cradle.
18. Yes, it was more than.
Why do I have that song, the country song, Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy?
That goes through my mind.
I just want to mention that in the chat room, somebody just said, I'm wearing nothing but cowboy boots. How weird.
There you go, Lola.
There we go.
We'll get his information, financial information. W-2s.
All right, everybody, give us a call, 304-214-1600. You're out of the area. Call us 1-866-514-1600.
Pretty soon we're going to have to start giving the area code.
Oh, yeah.
After February 28th, it doesn't matter if you're calling across the street. You have to dial the area code. Now, the one I've been told you don't have to dial it when you're making local code. Not a country code.
Well, one's the country code, yeah. Right?
I don't.
You are a weird little guy.
I don't know.
Because we had to call Ireland and Canada and all these places, Australia.
It used to be the one was long distance.
Yeah, you don't have to dial one. You just have to dial the area code because we're going to have 2 different area codes.
Yes, which is...
I was agreeing.
You know, I don't know why they can't do these things. It seems to me their reasoning behind this is not because of housing, not because we're building a lot here. I know in other areas that is the reason. There's too many landlines. Here, it's because the state has too many new cell phones.
Wow.
So why not? First, they talked about splitting the state like in half. Well, then you have your state offices could be in one half. You've got WVU, which would probably end up in another half. So all the paper would have to be changed.
Yeah.
So instead of doing what I think is the smart thing, any new landlines keep the 304, and any new cell phones take the 68. I think it's 681.
I'll never remember that.
Or just switch all the cell phones to that. So,
because everybody's cell number is kind of strange anyway.
Yeah, they're all different.
Unless you have Comcast, like
the new
we
one,
have.
I'm not calling you. I'm not going to remember.
Well, that's it. Everybody's got to go back. You've got to reprogram all your phones. Because any speed dials you have that don't have the 304 in there, it's not going to go through.
Now, see, I'm from Maryland. In Maryland, we did that. We had that. I mean, to call
my
next door neighbor. It was next door neighbor was still the area code, so I already got in the habit. All my cell phone numbers are already done that. So.
Oh, well, you're good. See, I did that in Michigan, but I once I moved here, it was almost to the point where you could not even have to put the first 3 digits in.
Yeah.
I remember when you could do that. Just dial your last 4 and go, 7883. That was mine.
How long ago was that?
Oh, way long ago. That was right after the operator went, number, please. You don't even...
I thought you were going to do a Lily Tomlin there. Yeah. There we go. All right, just change the subject.
All right, the pen. If you kind of reserved a spot without paying with it, there was a few that we reserved a spot for with the pen trip. If you would, make sure you get that in as soon as you can. Either bring it to the station or contact Nick or I at whispers1600@gmail.com, and we'll figure out a way we can get this paid off, so that we can make sure that we can get in. We had to make a pretty big deposit on it today.
And we must have all money before April 1st.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, because they changed, they said 30 days, and they switched to 45.
Right. Or you can mail it here. It's WKKX. Just put Whispers, WKKX/Whispers, 1201 Main Street, Wheeling, West Virginia, of course, 26003.
There we go.
So you can just drop a check in the mail and
any fan mail you can go ahead and send there too.
Jordan likes rereading those over and over and over again.
You gotta have a hobby, I guess. And next week, for those of you that hopefully will be getting this show online that we weren't unable to get last week online, our schedule, our show is moving to a new time slot. Okay, we're going to be on Tuesdays starting next week from 6 to 8 Eastern. Okay, that's 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So you have to be there, you have to listen, and it's going to be a 2-hour show. Okay, so the first hour is dedicated to everybody out there, which means we're going to have open lines. Maybe what do you think?
Well, we were going to pick a topic, and I've been trying to go through different topics. What would be really nice to talk about? I mean, for the first show. And every show we'd have kind of like open lines. And also pick a topic for us to, discuss, because sometimes people don't like to call.
So formal.
We are formal. Why shouldn't we be
Throw
formal?
something up on the wall and see if it sticks.
Next week you have to wear like a skirt, and it has to be below the knee.
I think she already gets on me because we
have
write an outline
to be below
of the show
the knee. He's telling me how long my skirt can be.
Hey, we got to wear shirts and ties. This is becoming really formal.
It's
nothing.
Not
he
that
must have formal,
a turn in his
Lola.
Well, that's what I'm saying is you just, I think, but the first week should just be open. Whatever anybody wants to talk about.
That's fine.
Okay, next week, that first hour, it's all you. So you better call, or else I'm going to cry.
Absolutely. Yes, he will, folks.
It is going to be a long hour.
Mm-hmm.
And remember that, a long hour if you guys aren't ready. So make sure you call.
In Kleenex. We have Anthony. You want to? Let's talk to Anthony now, and then we'll take a break. And,
yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I have to do this. Y'all can't.
Yeah, I don't know how to do this. All right, we got Anthony.
There you go.
Anthony Atha, you with us, buddy?
Anthony.
Yes.
Okay, there he is.
All right, everybody.
You're on the air.
Anthony is with Morgantown Paranormal Conference. Can you hear everything all right, Anthony? Can you hear?
Anthony.
Yes, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear us well?
I can hear you.
Okay, we can hear you as long as you talk.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Earlier when I talked to him, it seemed like there was just a little bit
of
a delay. How are you guys doing tonight? Doing good. How are you?
Are you on Vonage?
No.
Oh, okay. I just wondered if you were on an online service.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
So, Morgantown Paranormal Conference. What can you tell us about it?
I'm not getting anything.
All right, Lola, you're the go-through.
All right.
I think he can hear you, Lola.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you, but I can't hear anyone else.
You can't hear me.
So we could talk behind his back.
All right.
So that Anthony, let me tell you. Anthony's with Morgan...
Now, can you?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone now.
Anthony's with Morgantown Paranormal Conference going on here.
They hit all these buttons on other shows, and then I get here and I'm stuck, so I'm sorry about that, everybody.
All right, Anthony, what can you tell us about the Paranormal Conference coming up?
Well, it's Saturday already. Seems like we've been planning forever, but it seemed to creep up on us here. We're going to have 11 speakers. We're going to have a lot of natives of West Virginia, but there's also people coming from Maryland and Pennsylvania and other states. Our event has a lunch. We have hourly giveaways. We're going to have some spirit communication workshops. We have a expo, and we're also going to be doing a ghost hunt and a psychic circle with messages from beyond with Susan Shepard. So we got a lot of stuff crammed into one day.
Now, for those of you listening out there, we have had Susan Shepard on the show before, so if you're interested on what she's like, you can go back and go through the archives and find her. She's a very interesting lady.
Yeah, she's doing a lecture along with her circle. She's going to be trying to teach people how to read their futures through astrology, so I think that's going to be really interesting.
Now, what a spirit circle? What is that?
It's a message circle. I would say it's almost like she calls it a Victorian seance. So essentially, it's a summons. It's set up platform style. So what I could equate it to would be what you would see on TV with John Edwards. That's essentially what Susan does in one of these message circles. It's very interesting.
Well, I'm not going to call it a cold reading again. I messed that up last time.
Yeah, he kind of embarrassed.
No,
I was just hoping it wasn't like my circle.
Oh, God, Nick.
I'm sorry.
All right, Anthony, you think maybe we can get one of those tickets to give away to one of our listeners?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, you want to put a stipulation on that?
We'll give you a regular ticket, and that includes all the lectures, the lunch, everything. The only thing the regular tickets don't include is the ghost hunt and the psychic circle, and that can be upgraded for just $35. But yeah, we'll give you a regular ticket to give away.
Do you think what kind of who do you think should get it? We should make somebody call. What do you want to ask them?
Well, let's just have someone call in. Whoever gets to it first.
All right, whoever calls in, 304-214-1600, 866-514-1600. Give us a call, and you get a free ticket to the Morgantown Paranormal Conference. Anytime.
Now, that's in Morgantown. Let's go ahead and give the times again. Morgantown, Saturday. What time does it start?
It's going from 10 o'clock in the morning. The main event will end at 6, and then from 6 to 10 o'clock at night, all different kinds of things are going to be on. So essentially, it's 10 to 10. Okay.
And now, this regular ticket will get them in from at the door at 10 o'clock till 6, and the events after 6, correct?
No. The regular ticket will do from 10 in the morning until 6 p.m.
Okay, and then for $35 extra, they can upgrade it and stay the rest of the night, more or less.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. But they'll be able to enjoy all the technical and metaphysical, and we even have an economist coming to our conference.
An economist?
Talking about the rationality of spirits related to the economic principles. So I'm really excited to hear that one.
You think he could help fix the economy? We could get the spirits of Adam Smith up, and maybe he could figure that out. Nobody would know
that
what
would work.
About Wealth of Nations. Why are you looking at me that way?
I don't know them big words.
Adam Smith? Oh.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Wow. Wrote The Wealth of Nations, the basis of capitalism, or the market system. Well, Lola's on the phone with somebody. We're not sure yet if we've.
Hey Lola, is that somebody for the ticket?
We might have.
Yes, we gave it away. Matt just didn't want to come on the air. His name is Matt Tharp, and he's the winner of the tickets. The other one is Dan, and I'm just going to leave him on hold so he can hear the show.
Okay. Well, what we need to do is, I believe, if I remember talking to Anthony right, he's going to need to get some information from Mr. Tharp.
Okay, so, I've got his phone number.
So we got his phone number.
We'll get a hold of him.
During the break, Anthony, I'm going to go ahead and give you that phone number, and you can give Matt a call and get all of his information, okay?
All right, sounds great. Thank you.
All right. We hope everything's a success, Anthony, and we'll talk to you afterwards to see how it all went.
And now, if anybody wants to go online and buy one of those tickets, what's the website they need to go to?
It's MorgantownParanormalCon.com, and if you'd prefer calling, we do have a business line set up, and that number is 202-280-2556. And we usually answer calls real late at night, so... I mean, if you prefer the phone, give us a call.
All right, awesome. All right, well, we'll go ahead and give you call and give you that number, and you want to...
just hold on, Anthony, and I'll give it to you as soon as we get off the
air. Thank you, guys.
All right.
See you, Anthony. Thank you.
Goodbye.
That sounds like a fun trip.
I wish we'd been able to get to go to that. We might be able to try to get that worked out.
We might be able to get that. That sounds fun. I don't know about the spirit circle. That might scare me a little. I'm not sure. And then I did call it a
you would be in huge trouble. I mean, the spirits are looking for you for calling the cold reading. John Edwards has a price on your head.
No. All right, everybody.
And Sylvia Brown.
We're going to take a quick break. Make sure we get all these numbers and stuff situated, and we'll be right back on AM 1600 WKKX, the Valley's Watchdog.
Esoteric research and investigation into the enigmatic. Eerie Radio is a weekly podcast that features interviews with the world's leading paranormal researchers. Download episodes of Eerie Radio from your favorite podcatcher or directly from the show website at www.eerieradio.com. Eerie Radio. Listen, learn, laugh.
Do you want to dive into the bizarre world of the paranormal? Do ghosts, UFOs, or the supernatural amaze you to the point of wanting to learn more? Well then, you need BVRN, the Black Vault Radio Network. With more than 1,200 hours of on-demand talk radio, syndicated from more than 35 shows, the Black Vault Radio Network is your one-stop shop for the world of the unexplained. Check us out and tune in 24 hours a day at www.blackvaultradio.com. Again, that's www.blackvaultradio.com.
Welcome back to Whispers, everybody, on AM 1600 WKKX, the Valley's Watchdog. It is 8:23 p.m. here in downtown Wheeling, and it doesn't appear to be raining at the moment, so everybody go outside, look at the stars. It's a beautiful night.
And it's warm. Yeah. It's actually 48 degrees outside. I could handle winter if it stayed in the
Yeah.
Even the low 40s, I don't mind. It was nice taking the dog for a walk.
I like it nice and cool. I'm not too big on the snow.
Yeah, I don't mind snow. It's the ice and the bitter cold, and that's what I can't handle anymore.
Yeah.
Mine's bad roads. I don't like bad roads.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, I know.
All right, real quick, I want to give a shout out to Jason and Taryn from Chambersburg, who wanted us to give them a shout out.
And they're actually going with us to the prison.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to meeting them.
And we keep scaring them more and more every time we open our mouths.
All right.
Well, I get that one.
Our guest tonight.
Why are you implying that's us?
Now.
Did you see how
did
she did that?
Did I imply anything with facial gestures, body language?
You weren't even looking at him.
No, I was reading the information on our guest.
I'm so sorry, Lola.
I'm not. All right, here's our guest.
You're a mess. All right, tonight we have Stefan Watany, who is a Plains Cree First Nation Native American, as well as French Canadian. He's an author and a storyteller, and his latest book is Dreaming the Pyramid. And we're going to talk about what that is here in just a moment. Mr. Stefan, you with us?
I sure am.
How are you, sir?
Hello, Nick. Hello, Jordan. And hello, Lola. Thanks for having me on.
Hi. I love your accent already. I just want to tell you. I
miss
Canada.
You don't have to say the word about.
I miss Canada. I'm in Detroit or right around it, and I just miss that so much.
Oh,
so say about all you want.
Right on.
Okay.
All right, Dreaming the Pyramid. What does that mean?
Well, it's basically a website that puts a really, really unique spin on the pyramid. It treats the structure as a symbol, and of course, it sounds kind of crazy because the pyramid is a structure for sure. But one of the theories behind Dreaming the Pyramid on the site is that the pyramid was built to represent us in our perfect state. Virtually or literally as gods on the earth, omniscient, immortal, or at least immortal to the point where we could live much longer than we do now. There's a lot of things that get people, like androgynous. Some people have trouble with that. I did at the beginning. A whole bunch of different things, as gods on the earth, basically. It's basically the KISS formula applied to the pyramid. And step by step, I go through showing how astrology, numerology, metaphysics, a little bit of geology and some computer science, and kind of tie it in all together. But the main thing about Dreaming the Pyramid is that it's an interpretation. And I don't put it out there as truth. I put it out there as an interpretation. And I hope that in the future other people run with it and see where it develops.
Now, as an interpretation, like, let me see if I can word this right. You're saying that it's a possibility that the pyramid, is the symbol for our immortality? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
yeah, basically, it's almost like let's say you have a grandfather that's a singer, and he's a really good singer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's no guarantee that all his descendants will have the same ability, although they might have that ability to a degree. It's the same thing with knowledge. Just because I think the people, whoever it is, whether here or elsewhere, whoever designed the structure, put something in it that was so grandiose, so transcendental, that later generations, ones who built the other pyramids, failed to capture it. And I think that the teachings kind of got distorted. And I know that's a really heavy statement to make because I'd never even set foot in Egypt. Actually, I started dreaming about the pyramid when I was 22.
Now, how old are you now?
40.
Okay, so this has been a long journey, per se, for you.
Yeah, I wrote the book when I was 28, and it's offered as a free zip file on my website. I give it away for free, and I worked on it for about 3.5, 4 years. But it's been through a complete rewrite since then. And basically, I've been kind of holding it down, not really sharing about it. This year, or last year, actually, I decided to put it out there to the world, see what the reaction would be.
I got a question. I'm looking here at some of your information. You're saying, and I'll just go ahead and read, along with God and our cosmic off-world brethren, we, and you have parentheses, as spirits who had not yet taken physical form, co-created the earth and left proof of our divine nature within the design of Egypt's Great Pyramid. Now, my question, and I've read a lot about the pyramid because I always found it interesting. Some people say, most Egyptologists say it's not really that old. I can't remember exact number, but a lot of other people say it's a lot older than we think it is. I mean, thousands of years older. What do you? How old do you think the pyramid actually is?
I really have no first-hand experience with that. First of all, again, because I've never been there.
Sure.
And any information I have or opinions that I have are partially formed by what I've read from other people on the subject. I know that Casey said that the pyramid was supposed to be around 10,500 years old, or 11,000. I'm not sure which figure. The current figure is what? I think it's 2,500 years before Christ.
Uh-huh.
And some people attribute it to an earlier date than that. But the reality that we're faced with in terms of the Great Pyramid is that it is possibly one of the very first of the 118 pyramids in Egypt. And the ironic thing about that isn't that it's one of the first, but that it's the biggest, and it is the most well built, according to all the research.
But do you think the other ones were just built kind of to emulate it, or were they also built in for a purpose?
Well, for the first clue to that, you just look at the fact that apparently, again, I've never been to Egypt, but from all the research that I've done, there's not a single hieroglyphic showing the Egyptians actually building a pyramid anywhere in Egypt. Not on a traditional papyrus, possibly on contemporary ones, but not on traditional ones, not in the architecture. So we're presented with the idea that a civilization that built all these structures held the monument in such awe that I think that they held it sacred, that it was forbidden to actually put it in anything that was written down or portrayed on stone. So, to me, that just, of course, we can go on about that all night, but I mean, to me, that just says that they took something, or they were exposed to something that was there, or that that their previous generations had a part in building, and later generations lost that knowledge as it went further down the line.
What about the pyramids then in Central and South America, and even in Mexico? Now that you bring that up, I don't ever recall seeing any pictures or anything out of those showing any other ones being built, but I haven't researched it either. But don't they kind of fall into the same timeline as some of at least the later ones in Egypt? Or were they strictly built after?
It's possible, Lola. The other thing, too, is that, well, we can go in two ways with this. Either that it was mundane as a structure, didn't really signify anything except to, and satisfy somebody's ego so that it wasn't really worth putting it on stone or a papyrus or anything. Or else, again, like in Mexico, it was so sacred that it was forbidden to put it on. So either possibility exists. My information and my objective in the site isn't really to dispute the age, although I'm fascinated by that as well, but I don't really have any experience with that. Again, I'm not an architect or an engineer or a scientist. I'm an artist. I'm a photographer and digital graphic artist, as well as a grocery clerk at a grocery store. So my experience in Egypt is pretty limited. But the symbol did come to me through dreams, and kind of drove me crazy for a while until I just dropped everything and took off traveling here and there for around 10 years. And the perspective that I put on the pyramid is that it's so simple and so relevant to us individually that it's impossible to solve, because we're nothing to solve. We're something to understand on a personal level with ourselves. So we relate with the pyramid as another being or as a symbol.
So
that sounds esoteric.
You have some key elements that you say that's within the design of the Great Pyramid. I'm going to go down the list here, and you can kind of explain as we go. The Zodiac's 12 signs, including a secret 13th sign. How are those, depicted in the Great Pyramid?
Well, the basic way is you look at the pyramid's four sides, and let's say that each one correlates to one element of earth, air, water, and fire. Now, we know that according to astrology, each of those four elements contains three signs. So the earth signs, for instance, are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Fire would be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and so on and so on. So when you take each of the four sides, and you lean them up against one another from those triangles, you can see that each one of the sides, each corner represents one astrological symbol, and each side also contains one element. So we have the four elements within our bodies: earth, air, water, and fire. Because earth, we have substance. Air, since we have oxygen in our bodies, that's pretty elemental. Water, because we're 85, or I forget what the exact figure. I think it's around 87% water. And fire, because we're warm-blooded creatures. Now, the 13th sign. Well, we have people like Jesus that took 12 disciples to travel around with, and the esoteric philosophy behind that, and I read that from a couple of people. Linda Goodman, the deceased author that wrote Star Signs, is one of them. She wrote that each one of the 12 disciples would have represented one sign, and that Jesus, being the center of his entourage, would have represented the 13th sign, and thus being the 13th perfect sign, the one sign that contains all of them in one. So in other words, he would have been able to relate with anyone and everything. Mm-hmm. The pyramid, to me, represents something that we're supposed to become, something to strive to become. If we become the pyramid, basically we save ourselves.
No,
it all comes down to that Latin.
What do you mean by become the pyramid?
Well, if we go down the list of things that the pyramid has within in terms of esoteric philosophy, for instance, right after the elements, the 12 signs, and then the 13th sign. Oh, and by the way, the 13th sign is pretty much seen right on the Great Sea of the United States, or in the back of the American dollar. There's the number 13 contained everywhere within the symbol. For instance, there's 13 layers of stone from top to bottom of the pyramid.
Jordan's taking out $1 right now and following along.
Check it out. The words e pluribus unum, which means from many into one, alluding to 12 signs into one again. I know they say it's for the 13 original colonies, but that's something you tell kids. There's a whole other story behind that. There's 13 letters within those words, and on the other side of the seal, where the eagle is, actually originally it used to be a phoenix up until they changed it around. I forget what year it was. Right in front of the phoenix, of the eagle, there's a banner, and the banner has 13 light and dark stripes. The left side, I'm going to go on checking my own website here, I forget if it's the left or right, but either the right or the left side of that eagle on his talons, you can see an olive branch. Right. And on that olive branch, there's 13 berries. And there's also 13 leaves on that olive branch. And on the other side of the eagle's talons, you see 13 arrows.
Yeah.
And there's also 13 stars in the symbol above his head. I'm going by memory here because I don't have the symbol in front of me. It's not on my website. So that's one area where the 13 signs are in. And then also, if you go into the symbol of the eye on the back of that pyramid, well, why would it have an eye unless it portrays something that's sentient and aware? Not necessarily a human being, but something that's alive, sentient, and aware. So that's a direct correlation right there with third eye. Mm-hmm. And you see that in various cultures throughout the world. The Hindus, for instance, in India, have the dot right above in their forehead. And so basically, since we have the third eye, we see also a pyramid with a third eye.
Now, a lot of these come from Freemasonry. Is there a lot of Freemasonry that might correlate with perhaps some of your theory? I know you're the first person to ever ask that, and I'm glad you did, because this really ties in with. See, I'm not the first one to have had these dreams about it. I'm sure there's many other people throughout the world, but in my own family, my father started dreaming about this a year after I was born in '69, and he said that in his dream, and it's actually on my website, he describes himself walking down a valley with his cousin, a female cousin of his, and they came to a mosaic in the ground, and it was made out of stone. And as they came to that mosaic, they were about to walk past it when my female aunt, she stopped my father and said, Winston, I can't go on. I have to stop here. So my father went on alone, and off to his left, he saw 7 or 8 businessmen, or what looked like businessmen, in a large pit. And they were all wearing business suits and holding signs above their heads, with mathematical equations and symbols and various things like that. And as he walked a little further, he was just flabbergasted when he saw these 3 immensely huge pyramids in the distance. And he woke up. He never knew what that dream
but it looks like whatever he channeled in, I kind of picked up on it later. But I really do feel that Freemasonry, as we know it, is far more ancient than what we give it credit for. I think they were right there, right from the beginning, and that it just transformed itself over time and they kept the knowledge intact. I really do think a lot of people have that same knowledge today.
Yeah. One of the things, one of my biggest, when you're looking down from this, from space or the sky, you go to Google Earth, you can see this. You see the pyramids, I think the Great Pyramid and two other ones, and they form almost like Osiris's belt. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Orion, okay. Yeah, the belt of Orion.
Orion's belt. What did I say? Osiris.
You're awkward.
Osiris. I'm thinking Egypt. Osiris is a god.
Well, actually, you're right on the money, because I've read somewhere, research on this, but I read somewhere that the ancient Egyptians actually believed that Osiris came from Orion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, yeah. I
remember reading that a couple places. But again, that's just hearsay.
Here's a question on the chat room for you. It says many of Leonardo da Vinci's paintings, like the two Virgin on the Rocks paintings, are structured in a pyramid. Is this Leonardo saying the same thing about eternity as you are?
It could be. I'll be straight up with you. I consider myself a messenger. And I am certainly not the only one. You people are as well. I go to your website regularly, so I just can see all the updates. But the thing is with being a messenger is that the message doesn't really dwell with you. It's something that you carry, that other people carry in their own way, and it transcends time as well. So I really feel that truth, or perspectives on truth, exist throughout time, and people have that same perspective throughout history. So yeah, I do feel that artists in the past, especially perhaps some of the masters, they probably had a lot of this knowledge or insights on this.
Well, according to legend, so to speak, Da Vinci was really big into the Freemasons and things like that. If you read Demons and Angels and the Da Vinci Code, it ties a lot of that in together, and there's, they have a lot of theories of why Da Vinci did certain things in his paintings. But have I got somebody that you need to meet? Her name is Amanda Deschang, and on another show on Tuesdays, I'm here every day, but on Tuesdays we have her as a guest every week from 11 to 12 o'clock Eastern, and she's a medium. But she also does so much with crystals, and in fact, I just had my chakras aligned on Saturday, or realigned, I guess, and she was telling me some things that she had learned from a Native American. I think she went to a powwow, and they gave her a medicine bag, I think is what she called it, with crystals in it, and it absolutely fascinating stuff. You need to meet Amanda.
That's, where does she live?
She lives here in Wheeling.
Oh, in West Virginia.
It's a bit of a drive.
It's a road trip.
Well, I know.
I was actually down there in 98.
Were you?
Yeah.
It's pretty
great
cool.
time. Not too long ago. I was mostly in Virginia. I was at the ARE in Virginia Beach for quite a while.
Oh, nice place.
Yeah.
But, even on the phone, though, I think you two would have so much in common, and it would be interesting to see or to hear what she sees when she sees you, because she just doesn't see you. She sees your energy and everything. In fact, she said, I'm so all over the place that I look like 4th of July fireworks with my energy popping all over the place. But but that would really be interesting. We have got to set this up.
Can she do this over the phone? So
yeah.
Him in Canada, her here.
Yeah.
Both of them over the phone.
I'm pretty sure she could be in here. We could have her come in one night with us, perhaps, if she's...
that sounds great. I really look forward to meeting people of like mind, and we're all in this together, so I really enjoy meeting new people on the path.
This sounds like we need to get a date together.
Yeah, I think
You're not wearing cowboy boots, are you?
Oh, don't start him on the cowboy boots. That's a
private
joke. They're looking for a husband for me, is what they're doing.
We started the matchmaking.
Yeah, I know.
You got to do what you got to do sometimes, right? I have a question. I'm sorry.
That was so half-hearted.
Changing the question a little bit, or the topic a little bit. You say that humans have a part in the creation of Earth.
Yeah.
Now, can you explain that a little bit? That's a new theory for me.
It sounds crazy. I know, because if you look at all the chaos and well, basically we're the big problem of the planet as it is right now. Who knows if other species were as problematic in the past or will be in the future? But right now we are the big numero uno problemo here on Earth.
Yeah, that's.
But if you turn that around, we have the potential to become it's the best thing that ever happened to it. Okay, here's the thing. If you look around all around, they say that we utilize approximately 10% of our potential. Some people say 10% of our brain, but I've heard it's more like 10% of our potential. And yet, with that measly 10%, we're able to create skyscrapers, digital computer technology, go into outer space, theorize about theorizing. We're able to philosophize, think about our own thinking, like Edgar Mitchell says. There is so much making us unique in comparison to the rest of the natural world, not better, but unique.
Yeah.
That it really forces one to consider the idea that, whoa, maybe instead of evolving, maybe we were perfect in the beginning and I hate to say it because it sounds so dogmatic, but maybe we fell and are gradually trying to relearn how to become what we once were.
You know what? That really does make an awful lot of sense when you look at the way that man began and the stumbles and starts that we've had, the lessons that were tried to be taught to us that we didn't quite get several times and have had to rework through almost the same situations over and over and over again.
Exactly, Lola. And let me just add something to this that this just came across my mind. We're already co-creating worlds as it is right now. Artists do it with mediums and pigments. Authors do it with words. Computer programmers do it with binary, with compilers and C++ and programs. They're able to create computer games and virtual worlds that seem so real you can actually step into them. And the technology is getting better and better as we advance. And so we're gradually. We're at a really dangerous time because not only is the environmental world in upheaval right now in the Earth, but we're coming to the point when we're becoming our own creators, so to speak. We're delving in. We're mapping out the genome project that's already been done, but we're finding out what all the individual chromosomes are for.
Yeah.
We're at just a stupendous amount of change in our history, and I hate and love to think what's going to happen from here on, but I think we're in for a really nice surprise as long as we stay true to ourselves, basically. We're our own heroes and villains at the same time in this whole thing.
That's an interesting...
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it too much. I'm thinking of World of Warcraft. We were talking World of Warcraft earlier. But if you really think about it, I mean, that's kind of funny, and some you guys are going to be... But people immerse themselves into this fake world more than they do sometimes
the real
world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Are you talking about computer...
computer game, yeah, video games. World of Warcraft, are you familiar with that one?
Actually, I'm one of the earlier modders of Oblivion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you...
Yeah, my mods
okay.
are usually classified in the top 3 or 5 of the 14,000 out there, to give it a little plug.
I've actually got that game. I'm going to have to email you and find out what you've modded.
Sure, just Google Oblivion and TNR, and you'll fall right on my website.
Awesome.
Yep.
Nick just found his hero.
I did. But I mean, with even Elder Scrolls, I mean, it's this huge world. It's not. You know how some video games you have like a path you have to follow.
Yeah.
You have to go to this. You have to go to this. Elder Scrolls. I've played Morrowind a lot. Oblivion, I'm just getting into. You can go wherever you want. You can do whatever you want, and it's like you're, in a whole different world. I mean, it's
free to create
got its own rules. It's got its own mythology. It's got everything. Yeah.
All right, Nick, Jordan, and Lola, picture this. You've tapped it on the nail. Take that freedom that you have within that computer game and apply it to our own history. In sacred texts, for instance, obviously I'm going to mention the Bible. It talks about us as walking with the gods in the Garden of Eden, having all this freedom, no sickness, no death, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think? Okay, if you look at people going into a computer game and it's the first time they played it, especially teenagers and a lot of adults too, it's really easy to get addicted to those realities.
Yeah, very
almost
much.
To the point where you lose your girlfriend, you lose your job, you lose everything. And I think the same type of scenario happened a long time ago, where we were spirits that wanted to experience this physical reality. We stepped into it, we fell in love with it so much, and bang, we got nailed by it. And now we're trying to struggle to perhaps not break free, but to regain our flexibility in deciding in which realm we want to live in at any given time. That's heavy.
Yes, it is.
A lot of people
really
feel
is something to think about.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Well, I think that people like Jesus might have just come by to say, hey, you're something else. Like, step out of it. You don't have to be immersed in what you are. There's much more to you than meets the eye, so to say.
Now,
and not only him, but other masters as well.
Now, is this like your own kind of dwellings on, or is this like a kind of a belief through your heritage?
No, I'm although I do consider myself somewhat of a traditional Native American, I do all the ceremonies and stuff like that, but tradition to me, even within Native American culture, is kind of like it's a double-edged sword. It preserves your identity and gives you a place to belong, but it can also keep you captive at the same time. And it takes balance in order to live within the culture without being trapped by it. Our elders, back in Saskatchewan, they used to say to me that don't ever forget that you're a child of your culture, Stefan. You'll always be an Indian, but you're also a child of the universe, and as such, you have the ability and freedom to go into anything you want to learn about. Don't ever feel that you have to stay in one place only. And I've always applied that in my life.
That's some big stuff, too.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just sitting here. This is just...
They're both starry-eyed thinking, That's
why because these are ideas that...
Hey, sorry, guys, I didn't mean to get so heavy on you.
We're all mellowed out.
I'm not. No, I was going to say something by that. But it's just, that's what I love about this show. I mean, we have had, believe me, some people on that are so infatuated with hearing themselves talk that I don't even think they know what they're talking about half the time. And then you have other guests like you that really throw some ideas out there that really make you stop and question.
Absolutely.
And to think, because you're right about tradition. How many times, and this valley is a perfect example of it.
Yep.
It's for the lack of a better way to say it, it's an old boys network. Things never get done because they've never been done that way. And so we're being held back by this idea that things can't change, shouldn't change.
Well, that's what I was trying to say earlier. In virtual reality, people, we can do whatever we want, jump off the building and fly and everything. And then when they're real in their own lives, they get, it's got to be done exactly this way, and it's almost a routine kind of, I'm going to get in trouble with McDonald's, like a McJob kind of thing for your entire life. You get told, you put the bun down, then you do this, then you do this, over and over. It's like a factory.
Yeah.
It's like a program.
Pink Floyd, we don't need no education, and it's pretty much just you go through the system. You can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat, kind of thing. Don't laugh at me, but I mean, think about it. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? People get stuck in that, and I know that's funny, but think about it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Occasionally, Nick does have these brilliant flashes of insight.
However he wants to explain them.
Well, but really, that was a good example.
I'm going to McDonald's tomorrow morning.
I know it.
I'm starved.
Let's
talk about McDonald's.
Get me a Big Mac.
I'm hungry. Well,
it's well, anyway, getting back on topic, I'll just finish off real quick about how the Great Pyramid symbolizes the human body again.
Okay.
So far we've done the 4 elements, the 12 signs, the 13 sign, the third eye, and now let's get into a crystal. Well, what shape is the pyramid in? It's half of an octahedron.
Yeah.
Which essentially is octahedrons grow naturally in the earth. There's many minerals that host that shape. They're a pyramid top to bottom, basically, with the same angles as that of the Pyramid of Egypt, 51 degrees between the apex and its base, or the middle base, the plane in the center. And so the Great Pyramid could also be said to be a huge crystal. So what do crystals do? We know that crystals are essential in every form of computer technology that we know of. LCD screens, computer chips, silicon, anything that contains silicon or uses silicon, lasers, calculators, you name it, it has to have crystals. Right. So basically whatever, since we are the makers of technology, the technology resides within us on a spiritual level. So either collectively or individually, I don't know how this will work out, but in the future I think that our abilities will dwarf whatever technology is capable of now. They're just a crutch for our true selves, basically. They're great to have, and they're like training wheels on a bicycle that help us remember our identity. But if we rely on them too much, we'll start forgetting about our spiritual birthright, that we're able to do whatever they're capable of. The best example of this is in terms of indigenous philosophy, when you go down to, well, if you read the book, it's kind of old now, but The Mutant Message Down Under, written by that lady down there, and she wrote about her walkabout with the Australian Aboriginals and how they could communicate over great distances without even seeing each other.
Wow.
You know, and we do it
Amanda
by phone,
talks
by
about
fax
that.
or email.
Wow.
You know, but people a long time ago, it might not be direct communication, but it still conveys the same message. For instance, you might be thinking of someone and bang, the phone rings and there's a person on the line.
Yeah.
Like, how many times did that happen? That happens all the time. So there's something hidden within us that wants to surface, but, you know, you use your training wheels too much, and it kind of atrophies the ability.
Mm-hmm. I think
in the
also
long term, anyway.
The technology itself has made us lazy to where we don't rely on that kind of stuff. I just over the break, we used to have wireless here where I'm at, and I don't have wireless anymore. Somebody put a password on it. If you're listening to me, I'm going to find the password. But I was talking about how much it just kind of made me feel like I felt like I was kind of naked. I don't have access to my information now, you know. And it's, instead of remembering things, I feel like, okay, well, why do I need to remember? I can just type it into Google or Wikipedia, or, you know, I have it right there. But now, you know, I have to rely on...
Well, what were you talking about? They're changing our area codes here. And so Nick's reaction, mine was, well, you got to go through your phone and change all of your speed dials. Nick said, well, if you get a new phone number with the new area code, I'm not going to call you anymore.
I'm just going to email them, or I'm going to...
He doesn't do new well.
I resist change as much as I can. But we're running close to out of time.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. The hour goes by.
However.
Well,
no. I mean, I really would like to get you and Amanda on together. So let's see, since we're switching now to Tuesdays, and we're going to be on from 6 to 8 o'clock at night as opposed to this later hour. Yeah. We'll have 2 hours every week. So one of us can get in touch with you soon, and I'll talk to Amanda, and we'll get you guys on together and see what comes up.
Yeah, love to see the readings.
Basically Mondays and Tuesdays.
Oh,
great.
That works then.
Yes.
Yeah, we could maybe even do it sometime soon in the 6 o'clock hour, and it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, we'll be in touch with you over the next few weeks and see what kind of schedule we can go up. It'd be interesting.
Well, guys, you know, I'd really appreciate this time with you, and God bless on your path, and keep on going with the great website. Like I said, I go to your website frequently, at least 3-4 times a week.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate that.
You need to go join our forum. Did you see where we put a new forum up?
Yeah.
Hey, you should come join us on the forum. We'll talk about you more, or talk with you more.
He talks about you all the time.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That reminds me of a joke on the reserve where one of my cousins was riding down on the gravel road with my dad, and they saw this guy walking on the side of the road. My jerk rolled down the window and said, "Same to you, jerk." So then my dad said, well, "What is this, Stuart? Why'd you do that for?" And my cousin said, "My ears were ringing."
All right, Mr. Watany, thank you very much for joining us. And like I said, we'll be up in touch with you over the next few weeks to
set this
further this relationship.
Sounds great. And if people want to go to dreamingthepyramid.net, they can have free access to all the information there.
And a free ebook.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got to download that. Make sure you get it, and let us know what you think. We'll open up a part on our forum strictly for Dreaming the Pyramid and see what people say.
There we go. And 49-minute video if you're opposed to reading.
Yeah, actually, I took that video down because I'm making another video now, but
okay.
That one should be shorter. It took me almost a year and a half to make that first one, and looking back at it in retrospect, I decided that a 4 to 6 minute one can get the same message across in less time.
There we go.
Thank you very much. Have a good
night.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Good night.
Bye.
Yep.
Oh,
that's
wow.
neat.
A lot of interesting ideas.
I'd like to see what Amanda says his aura is.
Well, that's why I want to get them on together.
What do you think's going to happen?
It sounded like the air
it did
cut
for
out
a
there.
second. I thought everything was gone. I was saying it's going to be the meeting, the clash of the titans.
Now Dan heard the whole thing.
Okay, is he on the phone?
There he is.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, guys, what's up?
What's going on, buddy?
Not much. I'm actually on my way to Morgantown.
Hey.
Well, you should have called and you would have got a ticket for the show.
Well, he did call.
Tonight, I probably would have. I figured I'd just go down and hunt Anthony down, just grab all the tickets, bring them back.
If Anthony's still listening, you need to hide now. You're
so what do you think?
Hey, good show. I mean, interesting. A lot of new information to think about. Check out his website and everything. I was looking at it a little bit the other day, and there's a lot to take in. There's a lot to look at. So, by all means, go check it out.
We did not ask about the crow calling.
For those of you that are out there, and Dan, I don't know if you know this or not, he's also a professional crow caller. And the next time we have him, and by crow caller, I mean he'll go outside in the woods and
he'll call for crows.
And he'll call for crows, and they'll
he
come.
Is good at it. Lola, when we get off the show, I'm going to play the video for you. You've got to see this.
Oh, it's great.
We showed.
I wonder what his animal is. When you're a Native American, you have an animal that you're.
His name. I was reading on his website. His name was meant the tail of a young eagle, spotted tail of a young eagle. So maybe that's an indication for you.
I don't know.
He's a bird of some type.
Just fascinating. I think he's.
Dan, what do you think?
I did see his video on crow calling.
You did? What'd you think?
He's actually pretty good at it. He does an owl. I almost used the word impersonation, but that might be offensive.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the owl video. We got to look up the owl video too.
Well, he mixed it in with the crow. He was calling the crows in, and then he said something about I don't know if he was trying to do a crow owl fight to attract more crows or what, but.
Wow.
It brought a couple in.
Dan, you're coming in with us next week, right, for our first 2-hour show?
I will be there.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
I will be with you. I've already started looking into some things on your guest, and it should be quite an interesting show.
Our guest next week, for those that aren't sure, and Lola, Alex Monty Kanawati. Jordan's actually been talking with him on the phone. This is going to be, Lola, you will not believe, this is going to be...
It's going to be a fun show. Because we were sitting there and we have a voicemail. For those of you that don't know it, who need to get a hold of us or have a show idea that want to call in but don't want to call in for the show, it's 973-215-9178. Okay, we got a message from Alex Monty Kanawati, who's a film director out in L.A., who is making a movie with Jennifer Tilly, a feature film, and says there's all kinds of paranormal stuff been going on the set and going on through editing that he's finding. He's finding different pictures in his films, like different stuff going on, and specifically wanted to come on our show to share it all. So he's going to come on, talk about what's been going on, and he says that through all this he's now become clairvoyant and wants to express some of the new findings.
Tell her who he talks to.
Rudolph Valentino is who he's speaking to, and he is a silent film actor.
Yes.
Rudolph Valentino had a message for Jordan. And have you found the message yet? Have you talked to him? What?
No, we'll find out
what
that is.
As long as Rudolph doesn't necessarily have one for me, I'm all about
Well, hopefully we get to talk to him next Tuesday night.
Oh, we're going to have... Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. We have all this new time, new night, we're gonna see what the night will bring.
We're gonna push the limits and throw stuff on the wall and see what sticks.
Hey guys.
Hey Dan.
Hey, when he talks to Rudolph Valentino, I mean, if he's a silent movie actor, like does his lips move and then like a thought bubble pops up with the words, or
yeah, subtitles underneath it.
Oh, damn.
Mommy talks like this, and no one knew about it.
Oh, man.
Just a thought. I don't know.
I finally heard what Troy Polamalu sounds like. I did not. Football. Have you heard him? I never knew. Such a big guy, and I don't know.
All right, everybody. Remember, next week we are on Tuesday night from 6 to 8. It's our new time slot. Have your stories ready because we're opening up that first hour for you. It's going to be fun times. It's going to be great times. And we are over our time.
Yep.
So until next week, everybody.
See you, Dan.
Bye, Dan. Thanks for calling.
Bye, Dan.
No problem.
Make sure you go to whispersradio.com, sign up on our forum, and Jordan?
All right, everybody. Don't be afraid. Only believe.